We tried, we did our utmost effort to provoke or to set up or to organize peace talks, and we were honestly, left and right, all of us in favor of a Palestinian state. Now the problem is certainly very damaged by the situation in the Maghreb, in Tunisia, in Egypt, everywhere, in the Arab world, in Dubai. And certainly the Israelis are threatened now, if we are reading the press and the official declaration, they are threatened by the perspective of having an hostile environment. So is it possible now to launch another campaign? Honestly, I don't think so. We have to wait. Not so sure, but honestly, we better wait for some additional months or weeks, I don't know, and to get an idea. Talk to the Americans. They are not ready. Talk to Europe. Where is Europe?
I am optimistic about the effect of the changes in the Arab world to the peace process between the Israeli and the Palestinian. Not because the Israeli, this government at least, is going to change, but I do believe that the international community look and regard to this conflict is changing. And I will tell you why I'm optimistic about it. I do believe that what President Obama and the American administration did since the beginning of this wave of changes in the Arab world was absolutely excellent. At the same time, and I do believe that the Arab world is not understanding why, the same week he agreed to have an American veto on the resolution that the Palestinians wanted in the Security Council. I can guarantee you that this veto, preceded by a long talk with President Abbas, preceded by a long talk with Mr. Netanyahu, was for President Obama to tell him this veto won't be automatic anymore. We have other interests in the Middle East. The price of oil, as you can see and as we will see in the next few months, is booming. We want the American to be foreseen, and Minister Kouchner was right to say that in Benghazi, in Tunis, in Cairo, the demonstrators were fighting for their life, for their reality. They were not fighting against the Yankees, and they were not fighting against the Zionists. And this, President Obama can see it. If he wants a reconciliation with the Arab world, if he wants a dialogue and a cooperation with the Arab and the Muslim world, as he said in his famous speech in Cairo, he will have to put the right pressure on his main partner in the Middle East, it's Israel. One more element. The big friend of Mr. Netanyahu until not long ago was President Sarkozy. I heard that the last conversation that Mr. Sarkozy had with Netanyahu was not very pleasant for Mr. Netanyahu. The main country in Europe that always automatically is by the side of Israel is Germany. I can tell you that the conversation that Mrs. Merkel had with Mr. Netanyahu 10 days ago was not pleasant for Mr. Netanyahu. Mr. Netanyahu, the Israeli government cannot live in a bubble outside of this world. The world is changing. The Americans, I believe, are determined to do whatever it takes to have a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I hope, and Minister Kouchner said it, and tomorrow I'm sure he's going to develop it, that when we will find the telephone number of Europe, Europe as one entity will do whatever it takes to join the effort of the international community and to put the right pressure on the Israeli government, on the Palestinian Authority, for once and forever sign a peace agreement by 2011.
We want peace, not a peace process. We don't want to hear about a process anymore. The logic that prevailed last 16 years based in the direct negotiations between the Palestinians and the Israelis. The assumption that by direct negotiations face to face, we can achieve peace. In terms of results, we failed to do that because we're talking about unequal powers, we're talking about a different situations, a different balance of power. Palestinians can say anything they want. The Israelis can do everything they want, and they do. I can tell you that last week I had a lecture in front of some of Israeli students in Tel Aviv. And one of the students asked me, why you are optimistic? Why you are not worried? In spite we have the most extremist government, we have settlements activities, you say that. And in spite of that, you are optimistic. And I told him, I am optimistic because one thing. The Israelis have two options. One, to give the Palestinians their own states in 67 borders. West Bank, Gaza, East Jerusalem. Now I am running after the Israelis to give me that. But after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, if I fail and the extremists in Israel, especially the settlers, succeeded to prevent that, the other solution will be, if the Israelis wanted that or not, one state solution. In both, I'm happy. To have my own state, I'll be happy. And that's my first option. Not to have my own state, we will have one state solution.